Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field for Northeastern Conference Baseball. Another day at the beach. It's only about 30 degrees here. It rained all day. They weren't sure they're going to play. English got a game in before this. Glasgow playing the nightcap. Glasgow looking for a split for the Lynn team. English lost a tough game to Saugus 6-5. Big rally in the last inning. They scored 2 and had a runner in scoring position with the tying run. Hit high in the air to left center field. Long run for Durant. What a nice play. Ben Oliver gave that a ride deep to left center field. Looked like extra bases on the first pitch. Durant, he's an outstanding center fielder. Covered a lot of ground. He went way back in left center field and tracked that one down. Outstanding defense. Marcus Montagnino. The center fielder is the hitter. David Bernard on the mound for Glasgow. In for a strike. Glasgow trying to get a little closer to 500. They're 3-5. Gloucester trying to get a little bit over 500. They're 4-3. Didn't miss by much. 2-1 the count. Slices it foul the other way. Up in the seats, and it's 2-2. Brian LaFada is the head guy for Gloucester. I said congratulations on a big win over Beverly. Beverly's been very good. Only their second loss, Beverly, and he said, yeah, he said, I wasn't there. My coaching staff did the job. Hit solidly, but right at the second baseman. Bounced up in the midsection of DiFilippo. So Montanino hit it right on the nose, but the play goes 4-3 for the out. 2 up, 2 down. Jack Sperry, the third baseman, another left-hand hitter, steps in against David Bernard. High for a ball. Machine wide for a ball. Slices it foul down the opposite way, down the bullpen, left field. Bounces back out on the playing field. The rain has gone, hopefully for good. We're getting to the point where we're going to have better weather all the way around. Get into some warm weather for a change. It's been horrific. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've never seen it this bad. This is the last day of April, and we had better weather in November and December. Sperry draws a 2-out walk, extends the inning for Jake McKillop. Throw over. Sperry gets back. Hit foul off the catcher. I'm looking at the roster that Gloucester gave me, I said LaFada is the head guy. It looks like a football roster. They've got 8 assistant coaches. I'm sure that includes JV and freshmen, but still, 8 assistant coaches. Mike Sikowski, of course, the head guy for Classical. Diving back again is Sperry. Getting a pretty good lead off first base. And they throw over again. And he still gets a pretty good lead. Solid shot by third base down the left field. It winds up a double for a kill-up. So Gloucester trying to get on the board first. Matthew Smith, the right field, will be the hitter. 2 outs, 2 on. Both of them in scoring position here in the top of the first. Wing and a miss. He waved at the curveball. Solid shot by McKillop right inside the third base bag. Chased that pitch that broke way down and away. David Bernard got a lot of help on that pitch. And quickly it's 0-2. Down and away. Carrero set up outside, a little too far outside, so he didn't chase it. The 1-2 pitch. Chases it, misses it. So Gloucester gets a walk and a double, but they leave runners at second and third as David Bernard comes up with a big strikeout. So Gloucester's retired in the top of the first. Jake Lucido will take the mound for Gloucester. It'll be A.J. Luciano, the shortstop, leading off. Brett Buckland will play right field and bat second. Pitching and batting third is David Bernard. The left fielder, Sean Devon, will hit in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth and playing first base, Aiden Dow. Jared DiFilippo is, I think I said that ball's hit to DiFilippo at second base. He's the DH. He's hitting for the center fielder, Durant. He's hitting number 6. Batting seventh and playing third base, Deshaun Anderson. Catching and batting eighth, Cesar Carrero. And the second baseman, Danny Lilia, who made that assist out in the top of the inning. Lilia will be at second baseman and batting ninth. And they're DHing for the center fielder, Kevin Durant, who made that very nice running catch. That was a big play in the first inning, followed by a walk and a double. So Classical will try to get on the board first. Again, trying to get a little closer to 500. They got back in the win column their last game, trying to make it 2 in a row. It's been a miserable baseball season, softball season. St. Mary's girls softball had to play 2 of their home games in Linfield. They got used of the Linfield field, which has turf, because they couldn't play at Breed. English and Classical with makeup games that they couldn't play at Breed. been cold and wet. It started out snowy. The winds on top of the low temperatures made it seem even worse. Just couldn't get loose. Teams couldn't get even outside to start the season. Some of the teams were out in the field playing a game for the first time outside. That one bounces to home plate. A.J. Luciano having a tremendous year. Outstanding defensively, but offensively, he's swinging the bat. Out 10 hits, runs scored, knocked in some runs. He's having a huge season. Three in a row out of the strike zone. Taking all the way as you would expect in 3-1. So we're going to take a good look at this one. It's going to be a pitch he can handle. He can be fussy here. Big hop to the shortstop. Harry Marshall, the shortstop, throws Luciano out. One up, one down in the first. Brett Buckland, the right fielder, will be the hitter. In for a strike. We mentioned the English game. We'll mention it again here. Our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences go out to Pistol Pete Pedro's family. He was laid to rest today. And one of the best athletes ever to come out of the city of Lynn, but more importantly, one of the best people to come out of anywhere. Just a terrific gentleman. I had the pleasure of having him as a teammate. And he's very, very good people. Heaven is getting a real good one. And a great honor for Pistol. 3 of his teammates from West Texas State flew up to be here. And the family asked them if they would give the homily. They spoke. They were 2 of the 3 spoke at the Mass at Sacred Heart today. Buckland draws a walk. Peter was, most people don't know, he was a basketball and baseball player as well as an outstanding football player. Had a shot with the Patriots, Canada, Golden Gloves boxing champion, and was friends to everybody. Never had a bad word to say about anybody. Didn't want to hear anything negative. If you decided to tell him something, I don't really want to hear that, don't tell me. That's how good a guy he was. And you don't fill voids like that. When someone like that passes, there's nobody coming up to take his place. And that's a shame. But he had a great life, great family, had kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. He loved them all. You know, supported them all, whatever they did. He leaves a big family. He leaves a tremendous void. He'll be missed by a lot of people. The funeral at Solomines was enormous. Chop to short. They bobble it. They don't get anybody. They throw it away. Buckland couldn't go anywhere. He slid into second base, so the error allows everybody to reach. They weren't going to get 2 because it was hit too slowly. I don't know if he tried to rush it to get 2. They just bobbled it, then they threw it away. If Buckland was going in standing up, he could have gone to third, but he slid into second, so he only gets second. Sean Devon will be the hitter, so Glasgow gets a break. They have 2 on with 1 out. Gloucester had 2 on, but there were 2 outs. David Bernard got a big strikeout to get out of it. Sean Devon looking for a base hit to get Gloucester on top here in the first inning. I was just about to say up and in, and it was called a strike by the home plate umpire. Chop foul went off Devon's foot. So Devon hit with Aiden Dow on deck. Way up and away for a ball. So we had action at Manny Field today. Track was there, but it was a practice, I believe. But then there was a lacrosse game. So usually Manning going almost 24/7. Hit up in the air, drifting into foul territory. And making the play is Jake McKillop, the first baseman. Throughway to leave it up to the sophomore, Aiden Dow, to try and get that run home. He's been swinging the bat pretty well, too. Playing against juniors and seniors haven't bothered him at all. Fishing for a ball. The runners take off. The ball's fouled away out of play. Last game we saw Mike Zukowski having everybody running. They stole 6 or 7 bases the last game. They were running all over the place. Something they weren't doing early in the year. Hit on the ground slowly to short. They just barely made the play at second base. So Glasgow gets a couple of on with a walk and an error, but they leave two, just like Gloucester did. After an inning, we're right back where we started, dead even. Glasgow nothing, Gloucester nothing. It's hard to believe this young man's first name is Elias. Elias Montalaro. Hit solidly to short. Luciano throws it away. He had a little more time, I think they thought it. Hit solidly right at him, and he airmailed it over Dow. So Elias reaches first. E.J. Field, the catcher, will be the hitter. They squeeze in, and they fake it. The runner at first was off the bag, going to get picked off. They thought they threw it behind him, and he took off and he steals second base. Mike Sukowski coming out to talk to the troops. Montalaro did that perfectly. He was way off the bag. He saw Carrero winding up to throw the ball to first base. He took off. I don't think they would have had him anyway, but throw it off Dow's glove, so he had no chance. And Montalaro steals second base. Let's see if they try to bunt them to third. Pushes it towards third, it goes foul. If he swung away, he had the entire infield to hit a ground ball. Luciano broke for third. Lilia was breaking to first. Anderson and Dow were breaking to the plate. Any kind of a ground ball would have gone into the outfield. High and tight for a ball. Again, they had everybody moving. Leaving a lot of empty space out there in the field. Dow was way in at first base. The 2-1 pitch, and he hits it. Great play. Lilia with a terrific defensive play. That time he didn't break the first base. He went to his right, smothered it, and he threw field out. What a great play. Looked like Classical, trying to stop the bunt, was going to give away a base hit. On the play, Montalaro moved over to third. Harry Marshall, the shortstop, is the hitter. Classical squeezes in the infield. Pitches high for a ball. What a great play by Lilia. Had to go to his right, smother it, made a good throw to Dow, who made a good stretch. And that looked like a sure hit into right center field for a run. Chop foul. One ball, one strike. Curveball hung high, and it's 2-1. Hit foul down that grassy knoll behind first base, and the count is even at 2. The 2-2 pitch up and coming. Slices it foul again. Off to the right. We'll do it again at 2-2. Curveball, strike three. I was waiting for the umpire. He hesitated. I thought maybe he called it a ball. Late right arm coming up for strike three. A big strikeout. Dalen Locke, the left fielder, is the hitter. Hit to right field, Buckland. Nice play, catches it over the shoulder. Long run to right center field. So Gloucester threatens again, but again, a big strikeout. You got a strikeout to end the first. You got a big strikeout with the runner at third for the second out. Buckland tracks down the shot by Locke, and Gloucester is shut out again. So the error doesn't hurt. And again, Glasgow will have a chance to get on the board first. I'm still shaking my head over alias Mortellaro. It's almost like some parents hate their kids. Go looking for a job and you say, my name is Alias. And then, what were you in for? Six, 7, and 8 for Glasgow. Jared DiFilippo DHing for the center fielder Durant. Deshaun Anderson, Cesar Carrero. The three hitters to face Jake Lascido, who starts his second inning. Glasgow got a couple on in the first inning with a walk and an error. Took it out of it with a pop-up and a fielder's choice. So DiFilippo trying to get it started. It's been DiFilippo and Lilia filling in for Christian Bird at second base. Christian played the first game very early in the game. Might have been his first at bat. He wound up at second base. They put a runner in for him. He hurt his back, and he's been out ever since. High for a ball. He did dress for a while. He's dressed back in uniform, trying to get back in shape. Missing wide, it's 2-0. That one's in, and it's 2-1. Missing down and in. Oh, DiFilippo will have to love this pitch. He's got the count his way, 3-1. Way up and away. Second walk given up by Lascido. This one starts the second inning. And Deshaun Anderson will be the hitter. Looks down to Mike Sikowski at third base for a sign. Really good lead at first by DiFilippo. And he dives back on the throw over. Anderson fakes the bunt, took the pitch, And the throw was right on the bag. And the throw, the runner, and the shortstop all came together and deflected into short left field. DiFilippo's got a stolen base. And so it wasn't bunting. He squared to try and protect the runner. Let's see what they do now with the runner at second and nobody out. They get the bunt down. It's a beauty. Anderson does the job. So Gloucester has a runner at third with one out for the catcher, Cesar Carrero. Gloucester shortens up in the infield. Missing up and in for a ball. So Walker stole a base in a sacrifice, puts the leadoff hitter DiFilippo at third with one out. Glasgow trying to get David Bernard a lead. Missing again. 2-0. Nice stop by the catcher. E.J. Field picked that one going off to his right, short hopped it, and at least for the time being, saved a run. In for a strike, taking all the way with the count 3-0. Gloucester shot and way up in the infield. Hit the shortstop. They hold the runner. Nice stretch at first. He almost threw it away. McKillop saved that one. The infield in saved them a run. They were able to hold the runner at third. Throw the runner out at first. They leave it up to Danny Lilia. 2 outs and a runner at third. Lilia made that great defensive play. Down and in for a ball. Gloucester playing back. Danny Lilia was bunted a couple of times for base hits. Top of the order, Luciano on deck. They'd love to get Lilia on and bring Luciano up. There's the bunt. It's a fair ball. Stayed right on the white chalk. Perfect bunt by Lilia. It's nice when you talk about something and they do it. They make you look pretty good. They make it feel like you know what you're doing up here. They try to let it go. It died right on the white line. Perfect by Lilia. Can't draw it up any better than that. Solid shot went foul. He got way out in front of it and pulled it well foul. Luciano grounded a shot. His one trip. So the walk hurt. It comes around to score. Luciano got away with the walk in the first inning. Big jump. Luciano hits it in the air to left center field. Long run for the center fielder, Montanino. He tracks it down, but the walk hurt. The perfect bunt down the third base line by Lilia brings the walk home, DiFilippo. And Classical jumps out in front after two. Classical leads Gloucester 1-0. So for the first time, David Bernal will start an inning with a lead. As we start the third inning, he'll be the top of the order for Gloucester. Ben Albert hit it a ton to left center field, and Kevin Durant made a terrific running catch over the shoulder to take extra bases away. And it was huge because it was followed by a walk and a double. Gloucester left runners at second and third. Pop back foul out of play. Carrera looking for it, can't find it. I thought by now somebody would tell the cars out in right field to shut their headlights off. Evidently, it's not bothering the hitters. Good curveball, drops in for a strike. Didn't miss by much. Good waste pitch. Evens the count at 2. Again, tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Chops it to third. Anderson, the off hop, nice play. He charged it, got the in-between hop, but played it well. Good strong throw, and they throw all over out. Marcus Montanino hit it hard, but hit it right at Lilia at second base. High for a ball. Missing again, 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. Quickly, 2 strikes. Durant is playing him just about dead center in center field. Pulled over the line is Buckland. They give him a lot of room in right center field. What a nice pitch. Took something off the curveball and dropped it in. Nice pitch by David Bernard. Third strikeout, 1 in each inning. Tex Perry drew a walk and wound up at third on McKillop's double and got stranded there. Dropped down and in for a ball. Just off the corner for ball 2. Slices it foul off to the left side. Going the opposite way. 2-1 the count. Slices it again, foul out of play. Hangs outside. And we go 3-2. Hits it to left field. Devin slipped a little bit, but then gets up and tracks it down. Nice job. So 3 times he went the opposite way. The one he left in play, Devin tracks it down. A 1-2-3 inning for David Bernard and the Rams. Looked like that might be a problem. Devin just kind of slipped a little bit, but was able to right the ship and go get it. And Gloucester is down in the 3rd. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Glasgow. Brett Buckland, David Bernard, and Sean Devon, as Jake Lashida will start his 3rd inning of work. So I guess we're finally going to get through this miserable, miserable weather. We got one more day. It'll be up in the 60s. And then come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's supposed to be up in the high 70s or into the 80s. So it goes from one extreme to the other. Gloucester made the trip up here off 128. They're hoping it'll be a happy bus ride home. Glasgow's hoping it won't be. And this will be the one time that these two teams meet. With the league now 16 teams, Somerville, Medford, Malden, and Everett coming in. Everybody plays each other once, except for the natural rivalries. English will play Glasgow twice. Swampscott will play Marblehead twice. But everybody else plays those types of rivalries will play twice, but all the other teams will play each other once. That's why it's important. A lot of coaches don't like it because if they lose, they want to, like Beverly losing to Gloucester, they'd like another shot at Gloucester. I think Peabody lost to Danvers. They'd like another shot at Danvers. Beverly beat Danvers. Danvers would like another shot at Beverly. Hit right back to the mound. Big hop. Buckland hit it well, but hit it right to the pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out. David Bernard reached on an error. Hit a ground to the shot that was bobbled. Following a walk, it was first and second with 1 out, but Lashid will get out of it. But didn't get out of walking the leadoff hitter in the 2nd inning. That was an emphatic strike. The umpire put his hand up as high as it can go. Chop to 3rd. Big hop for the 3rd baseman. Rifle throw that Abraham made that a challenge. He only got him by a step, maybe a step and a half. Two up, 2 down. Sean Devon popped to the first baseman in foul territory. High and tight for a ball. Sean, the son of the athletic director, Billy Devon, at Classical. And congratulations to the Devon family. Billy Devon Sr. will going to be inducted into the St. Mary's Athletic Hall of Fame. Well deserved. In for a strike. Billy was a teammate of mine in softball. He was an outstanding athlete at St. Mary's. And has been a staunch supporter of his grandkids' games. Slicing it the other way. The count goes 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Checked the swing, thought it was outside. It gets called strike 3. So both pitchers have 1, 2, 3 innings. We finished 3 here at Frazier Field in this Northeastern Conference battle. Classical holding on to that slim 1-0 lead over Gloucester. Jake McKillop doubled his first time. Came with 2 outs, and they got stranded on the base pass. Chopped it to third. Off Anderson. It was a big hop. Looked like a play he could make. Instead, it's an error. Second error in the game for Classical. Matthew Smith struck out swinging his 1 trip. It was a big strikeout for David Bernard because it was second and third and 2 outs. Got him out of the inning. Throw over. McKillop gets back. Anderson is shotting up at third, expecting a bunt. And he gets it. David Bernard makes the nice play. Perfect bunt by Smith to move the runner up. 1-3 for the out. And here we go with Alias. Alias Montalaro. DHing for the pitcher. He reached on an error. He hit the shot and was thrown away. David Bernard spinning, not throwing, trying to keep the runner close. High chopper over the mound. They're not going to have a play. Talk about a Baltimore chop. It hit the grass, never touched the turf. Never hit the turf again until it went by David Bernard. He couldn't get it. And it just behind the mound. And it's an infield hit. And Gloucester has first and third with 1 out. E.J. Field, the catcher, grounded out second to first. Well, Gloucester's threatening again. 3 of the 4 innings, they've had a runner at third, but haven't been able to bring anybody home. They weren't really bunting. They were protecting the runner going to second base. So that takes the potential double playoff. So strike 1, we find out was the call. Classical again shortens up in the infield. Curveball drops down and away. hit the second. They only have one play. They'll go to first. And that'll tie the game up. Second time going to second. This time he gets an RBI. The runner moves to third. Nice stop by Carrero on a pitch down and away. Saved a run there. Harry Marshall, the shortstop, was called out on strikes. His first trip. Lilia got to the ball quickly, but he only had one play, and that was first base with the run scoring. Fishing inside for 2-0. Hit foul at home plate. Two on the count as David Bernard delivers. Hit the third. Big hop for Anderson. And he throws him out. So the error hurt. The error came around to score. Gloucester tied it up. We're halfway through the ball game. And again, we're right back where we started. Dead even. One apiece. Gloucester's unearned run. But it still counts. So Gloucester will have to go to work to try and get the lead back. Aiden Dow, Jared DiFilippo, Deshaun Anderson. 5, 6, and 7. For the Rams, looking to make it 2 wins in a row. They get off the slide the last game on a really nice pitching performance, a shutout by Kyle Finnegan. Also got a boatload of seniors, but they got some pretty good players coming back next year. David Bernard, Brett Buckland, Deshaun Anderson, Kyle Finnegan, Aiden Dow, Jared DiFilippo, who are all getting significant playing time this year. And the pitching staff is back. Finnegan, David Bernard. Buckland can throw. Aiden Dow bounced into a fielder's choice, 6-4, ending the first inning. Up for the second time against Lucido. Lined in the left center field for a base hit. Jumps on the first pitch. Only the second hit for Gloucester. Gloucester has 2. Jared DiFilippo drew a walk, stole a base, sacrificed a third, and scored on the perfect 2-out bunt by Danny Lilia. Let's see if Gloucester plays small ball. So the young sophomore Dow does it again with a nice solid shot. The lefties for Glasgow, Devon and Dow, like to do that. They like to go the other way. They pitched out, thinking they might be able to catch Dow, possibly going or way off the bag. DiFilippo was squaring away. Takes it down the way again. Third baseman Sperry is charging in. He was almost able to shake hands with DiFilippo. He got so close to the hitter. Dow dives back again. Missed the bunt. They throw it down. Awful close at first, but the ball was dropped, so the umpire didn't have to worry about what a call. If either call he made on that play was probably going to have a problem with either coach, but Dow was shaking it off as he dove head first back into the bag. But the throw was bobbled a little bit, and that made it easy for the umpire to make the call. Now Mike Sikowski going to check on Aiden Dow. So we'll get back to baseball. 2-1 the count to Jared DiFilippo. Tried the button, missed it. And E.J. Field threw a rocket down to first base. Dow getting a short lead off first base. Squaring to bunt. And the pitch was way up and in. That would have been 3-1. And he kind of chopped at it and fouled it off again. The third baseman, Sperry, breathing right down DiFilippo's throat. Hit solidly to second base. They bobble it. They get one. They don't get two. That little bobble, it was solidly high enough to be a double play. But second baseman just momentarily bobbled it, and that allowed DiFilippo to get to first base safely. So the play goes 4-6 on Dow at second base. DiFilippo changes places with him at first. Deshaun Anderson laid down a sacrifice and did a nice job moving the runner over. Sacrifice moved him to third, and that set up Danny Lilly's 2-out perfect bunt on the third base line that died right on the chalk. Knocked the run in. Gloucester has come back to tie it. Dow almost took an extra step, just dove back. And it's not Dow. I forgot he got out at second. It's DiFilippo at first. He's got a good-sized lead. Jumped off the bag. Anderson fouled it back. I get so used to throwing him over to first, trying to get Dow on all those plays. I forgot he could force at second base. DiFilippo got a big jump that last pitch. That one goes to the backstop. So they didn't get the sacrifice, but they get there by hook or by crook. They wind up at second base with the wild pitch. So the runner's in scoring position. That brings the trip out to the mound. That went straight to the backstop. That wasn't close to anything. We're in the bottom of the fourth, one apiece. Glasgow and Gloucester, Northeastern Conference baseball. As we end the month of April. And we're very happy to say goodbye to April. Two on the count. The Ram third baseman, Deshaun Anderson. And here goes another one to the backstop. Not even close. E.J. Field, the catcher, had no chance on that one. All he could do was turn around and chase it. So now the runner at third. So Glasgow couldn't execute the sacrifice, but Gloucester helps him by throwing two wild pitches. And the go-ahead runner's at third. And Gloucester brings their infield in. Swing and a miss. And the count goes full. Anderson was looking to hit that one over the fence with that swing. Hit foul. It took something off. It went up in the screen and found a hole in the screen. Wound up in the seats. One big piece of the netting behind home plate. That's a huge hole hanging down. And Anderson just found it. The one thing we haven't had all day today at Fraser Field is a steady diet of planes flying overhead. We usually have rapid fire. We haven't had any. I guess Monday's not a traveling day. Slices it foul. That's in the direction of Western Avenue. We'll do it again at 3-2. Chopped it foul. Good at bat by Anderson. He's hanging around. Make a Lucido throw some pitches. And yet again, we'll do it at 3-2. Whatever he does, this is a very good at bat by Anderson. He's run the count full. He's fouled off many pitches. Make a Lucido throw a lot of pitches. Chomping at the bit on both sides, offense and defense. High in the air to left field. This is not going to be deep enough. They fake like they're going. It's a good thing they didn't. Anderson got under it. They lifted a ton up in the air. Gaylon Locke had to come in almost behind shortstop to make the play. So you leave it up to Cesar Carrero. He grounded out short to first. On the corner for a strike. Lucido took too much time. Carrero asked for time and got it. On the corner again, 0-2. So one swing of the bat by Carrero could give Glasgow the lead back. One pitch by Lucido could get him out of trouble that he caused. Way wide for a ball. Glasgow's rooting for another wild pitch. Again, a very long look by Lucido. Carrero asks for time and gets it again. Lucido working very deliberately. Threw that one over the head of Carrero. Had to duck out of the way. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In a 1-1 game, Glasgow has a runner at third. Looking to get their 1-run lead back if they could. And here it comes. Another wild pitch. 3 wild pitches in the inning. Talk about gift wrapping a run. Now let off with a hit. They got the force at second. And then 3 wild pitches brings the run home. If that doesn't have you shaking your head if you're a Gloucester fan. Hit solidly. Nice play by the second baseman. Oliver went way to his left. Takes a hit away from Carrero. But Glasgow gets a run gift wrapped. A hit, a fielder's choice, and 3 wild pitches. Glasgow's got their 1-run lead back. It's Glasgow 2, Gloucester 1 at the end of 4. 9-1-2 for Gloucester as we start the 5th inning. Kalon Locke fly to right field. That was the inning that Dana Lilly made that great play at second base. There was an error, stolen base. He made the great play at second. The runner moved to third with 1 out. David Bernard got a big strikeout and the fly out to end the inning. And there's the exact same play. Exact same play. Lilly again had to go way to his right. And he takes another hit away from Gloucester. Ben Oliver is flied to center and grounded to third. Down and away for a ball. Squared like he was going to bunt. Took it down and away. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Missing again is 3-0. In for a strike, as you would expect. Oliver taking all the way. Hit the shot. Big hop for Luciano. Nice comeback by David Bernardi. He was behind 3-0. Two up, two down in the fifth. Marcus Nino grounded a second, called it on strikes. His 2 trips. Good pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Good sharp breaking ball. Squared like he was going to bunt, took the pitch for a strike, and it's 0-2. Just got a piece reaching for that one, guarding the plate. He fouled it off. Now, hitter and third base coach will get together. Oh, to the count to the Fisherman center fielder. David Bernard thought he had a strikeout. Again, a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Just off the outside corner. Hit right back to the mound. David Bernard will have his second 1-2-3 inning. Gloucester is down in the 5th. Glasgow holding on to that skinny 1-run lead. And it'll be the same for Glasgow. Gloucester was 9-1-2. Glasgow will be 9-1-2. Danny Lillia, A.J. Luciano, Brett Buckland to face Jake Lucido, who will be starting his 5th inning of work. Jake Lucido has virtually been his own worst enemy today. He walked the hitter leading off the second, a stolen base, a sacrifice, and a 2-out bunt. The walk came in to score. Base hit was wiped out on the fielder's choice, but then 3 straight wild pitches brought the run in after Gloucester had tied it with their unearned run in the 4th. Glasgow's made 2 errors. Gloucester made 1. Only one of them counted, and that was the error starting the 4th inning that Gloucester came around, got their run to tie the game up. Glasgow got their run on those 3 wild pitches. And Lillia is up with 2 outs. He laid down a perfect bunt down the third base line. They had no play. They let it go, hoping it would be foul. It dropped dead right on the white line for a bunt single and an RBI. So he's 1 for 1 with an RBI. And the third baseman is now short and way up, thinking he might try it again. They're not very deep in the outfield for Danny. Way high for a ball, 2-0. Wide, it's 3-0. So take a long look here, maybe two. In for a strike. And again, still being fussy, 3-1. It's got to be a pitch you can handle. Lucido's got to come in with two. Slices it foul, the count goes full. And we're going to get some warm-up action for Gloucester. Hit hard in the right field for a base hit. Right past the dive of the second baseman. Glasgow gets the leadoff man on for the third time in 5 innings. And I think I can make a wild stab and say you will not see a bunt here. A.J. Luciano was grounded to short and flied to center. A trip out to the mound to talk to Lucido brings a trip out to the sidelines to talk to Mike Zukowski with hitter and base runner. Glasgow leading it 2-1. Trying to get a split here at Fraser for Lynn team. English lost a tough one to Saugus 6-5. And we're going to get a new pitcher. Jack Sperry is the new pitcher. Moving over from third base. Kyle Carrioris will play second base. I'm assuming that means Ben Oliver went to third base because Marshall is still the shortstop. So the first getting back is Lulia. Square in the bunt, the pitch is wide for a ball. So Oliver goes from second to third. The third baseman Sperry goes to the mound. And Kyle Carrioris comes off the bench to play second base. As Brian LaFada makes some changes. 1 on, nobody out for Luciano. He squared like he was going to bunt. Kind of surprised me. I didn't think they would take the bat out of his hands. 2-0. A.J. Luciano looking down at third base. Mike Zukowski flashing some signs. Pushes the bunt to first, it goes foul. I hope the car right next to the flagpole out in right center field has got their motor running, because if not, by the time this game is over, the battery will be dead. The lights have been on the whole game. Two on the count to the ramp shortstop, A.J. Luciano. Takes the pitch for a strike, and we're even at 2. That'll take the bunt off. Popped up. It's going to be back up over everything out of play. Count stays 2-2. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Glasgow leading it 2-1 over Gloucester. Glasgow trying to make it 2 in a row. Gloucester looking for their 5th win, looking to go 5-3. Coming off a big win against Beverly. Popped up behind first base, over the shoulder in foul territory. Great play by Jake McKillop. It wasn't going to be a hit, it was foul, but it's a great play over the shoulder, going away from home plate, picking it off. They get a good hitter out. Brett Buckland has walked and bounced to the pitcher. Facing Sperry for the first time. Off the catcher, not far enough to anybody go anyplace. So Lucido goes 4 innings. Gives up 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned. Walked 2. One of them scored. Struck out 1. Good fastball for a strike. 1-1. Broke late, stayed inside. Few faithful fans still hanging around. Trying to stay warm. Got about a dozen or so Gloucester fans made the trip. The 2-1 pitch up and coming. Chop, foul, right to the third base coach. Night play Mike Zukowski. Lines it foul. Reached for that one and just sliced it well foul down that grassy knoll behind first base. So the count is even at 2. Toss over, getting back, standing up is Lilia. He led off the inning with a base hit. Watched as Luciano popped up in the foul territory. The count even. 2-2 to the Ram right fielder, Brett Buckland. Hits it in the air again behind first base. And again in foul territory. McKillop makes another nice play. 2 in a row by the first baseman. Not an easy play over your shoulder. Looking back. You're back to home plate. David Bernard reached on an error, grounded out third to first. Chop, nice play by the pitcher, and he takes the play himself. Sperry caught it with the glove, and it was a foot race, and he beat David Bernard to the bag. So that's a rare 1 unassisted. A 1-2-3 inning for Gloucester. Excuse me, not a 1-2-3. A leadoff single, I forgot. Number 9 hitter down the lineup, got a base hit. So we're through 5. Going into the top of the 6th, Classical holding on to that thin 1-run lead. It's Classical 2, Gloucester 1 at the end of 5. 3, 4, and 5, the meat of the order for Gloucester, facing David Bernard in the 6th inning. Jack Sperry walked and flied to left. He hit a long way the opposite field, being a left-hand hitter. Sean Devon tracked it down. Missing down for a ball. Gloucester bench trying to rally the troops. Slices it foul again to the opposite way. Evens the count at 1. Down and away, 2-1. Chop to short, big hop for Luciano, and he throws him out. I talked about the car out right center field. The Gloucester bus is getting in on the action too. They've got all their lights on out behind right field. Jack McKillop doubled, reached on error, and scored a run. He led off the 4th, reaching on the error, and came around to score. The plate umpire called it a ball. They checked with the first base umpire. He said, yes, he swung. So it's 0-1 rather than 1-0. Drop foul outside third base. He reached on error, got sacrificed a second, went to third on Guadalaro's infield hit, and scored on a ground ball to second base by the catcher, E.J. Field. At the time, tying the game up. Glasgow come back in the bottom of the 4th to get a run, to get the lead back where we are now at 2-1. That one dropped low, and the count evens at 2. Slices it foul down the first base side. Chased that outside pitch. Hit down into right field in the direction of the right field bullpen. Count stays 2-2. Drops down for ball 3. Once again, a payoff pitch up and coming. Lined in a right center field. That's in the gap. Durant gets it back. Gloucester's got the tying run at second base, a double. Second double in the game by McKillop. Only the third hit for Gloucester, and he's got two of them. Matthew Smith, the right fielder, is struck out and sacrificed. His sacrifice helped set up the run in the fourth inning. After the error that started the inning. Squaring to bunt, pushes it towards third, foul. Looked like he was more bunting for a hit than he was a sacrifice. He didn't square around. He was trying to bunt for a hit, I think. Waved at that pitch that broke way down and away. Way too late when he realized what he was doing. He couldn't stop. Went around, and it's 0-2. Just hung high. Good pitch. Curveball, but it hung high, and it's 1-2. Trying to keep that runner close at second base. David Bernard steps off. Just got a piece of that curveball and stays alive. Good pitch by David Bernard. And Smith just got a piece. Down and away, evens the count at 2-2. He chased one of those pitches before. Chased it again, just got a piece. Count stays 2-2. It goes to the backstop, and the tying run is at third. Pitched way wide, and the count goes full. So he was ahead of McKillop. Now he's got to come in or put him on. Carrero had no chance at that one. Oscar will bring the infield in. Big pitch up and coming, pitching from the stretch. Strike three. Third time in the ballgame, he's come up with a big strikeout. And here's Alias Mortellaro. Reached on an error, and he hit a chopper over the mountain. The ball must have gone 25 feet in the air. Hits it foul to third base. He hit a high chopper. It bounced once on the turf. The next bounce was beyond the mound, way over the head of David Bernard, and it dropped in between everybody for a base hit. So he's given up 3 hits, and one of them was that high Baltimore chop, if you will. Nice stop by Carrero on a pitch down. That keeps the runner at third. This would be a big out. You keep the runner off. Not only that, you'd be facing 7, 8, and 9 in the 7th inning. Didn't miss by much. And 7, 8, and 9 have not got a base hit in the ballgame. Neither has 1 and 2. In for a strike. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And number 22 is at bat. And Classical's got 2 runs. So we got deuces all over the place. Big pitch up and coming. Started to pull the trigger and held up. He almost swung at that pitch that broke down and away. Almost got a strikeout to end the inning. Payoff pitch up and coming. Swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts. David Bernard celebrates on the mound as well he should. So a double, they get third on the wild pitch, 1 out, 2 big strikeouts by David Bernard. He's got 5 now. First strikeout since the 3rd inning. Gloucester down their last 3 outs. Jack Sperry will start his first inning of work. He came in relief. He actually pitched the full inning, but there was a runner at first. After Lilly got a base hit, they brought Sperry in. He got the 3 outs. Four, 5, and 6 for Classical. And David Bernard has come up huge. Second and third in the first inning, got a big strikeout. Runner at third with 1 out. He got a big strikeout for the second out and got out of it. Now a runner at third with 1 out, 2 big strikeouts. And he'll be facing that 7, 8, and 9 in the 7th inning. And only one of those 3 have hit the ball out of the infield, a fly ball to right field. Sean Devon will lead it off. Sean Devon, Aiden Dowd, Jared DiFilippo to face Jack Sperry. After Lilly got the base hit, they brought Sperry in to pitch. He got the next 3 outs. Made the last out himself, fielded the ground ball, and beat David Bernard on a foot race. He took the out himself to put out at first. Sean Devon has popped to first and was called on strikes. Glasgow would like to get at least 1 to give David Bernard some breathing room. High for a ball. Now it's Glasgow's dugout getting excited. David Bernard was really pumped after that second strikeout. As well he should be. Outstanding job. Slices it foul the other way. It's going to go way down in the bullpen area, but well foul. We told you before, Devin likes to go the other way. Dow likes to go the other way from the left-handed hitter. They can pull it, but more often than not, they go the other way. And the center fielder is shading over into left center field for Devin. Wide for a ball. 2-1. High for ball 3. Devin looking to get something started for Classical here in the bottom of the 6th. They're leading 2-1. And that's ball 4. Oh, he called it a strike. I won't try to umpire from up here. I'm thinking it was down and away. And I thought Devin was walking, and up came the right arm of the umpire. So it's 3-2. I guess I should let the umpire. The payoff pitch, up and coming. Way inside. That's ball 4. And we got a trip out to the mound. Aiden Dow bounced the shortstop into a fielder's choice and lined a single into left center field. For the 4th time in 6 innings, Classical has the leadoff hitter on. But they only have 2 runs because they only got 3 base hits. 3 hits and 3 walks, 6 base runners. 2 of them have scored. One of the walks scored. The other run came around on 3 consecutive wild pitches. Dow got that hit, was forced at second base by DiFilippo. DiFilippo scooted around on those 3 wild pitches, and that's the difference in the game right now. So the wheel's turning. Mike Sikowski talking to the base runner and the hitter. Brian LaFada talking to pitcher catcher. So here we go. They get the bunt down. They're going to have to hurry. They don't get him. It's a base hit for Dow. Perfect bunt. So 1st and 2nd with nobody out. And the odds in Vegas are very high that DiFilippo is going to try and bunt also. They're checking on the first baseman. I think the throw went down. I think the throw hit him. They weren't going to get Dow anyway. He's walking over to the bench like he's going to leave the game. He's holding his hand or his arm. The coaching staff talking it over, trying to decide what they're going to do. So we'll have a new first baseman. You hit him on the hand or the arm. Looks like they're making a couple of changes. Now they're all over the place. I think Oliver's going back to second base. No, Oliver is now going to be the first baseman. Oliver's going to be the first baseman. And I believe it's Matt Montenegro who is going to be at third base. And he'll bat in the first baseman spot. And it's Luis Reyes who is moving over. Luis Reyes is going to be the third baseman. So Oliver started as the second baseman, moved to third. Now he's over at first. 2 on with nobody out. A walk and a bunt single for Glasgow. T. Flipper walked and scored, reached on the fielder's choice and scored. He scored both of the runs for Glasgow. Second one he scored is the one that's making the difference in the game. And he scored on 3 wild pitches after he forced Dow at second base. Squared the bunt, took the pitch for a strike. Squares again. First baseman charging. Pitch inside. Gloucester is saying he attempted. They're going to check. And the base umpire said no. Coach LaFard has come out and talked to the umpires. What do you mean? The pitch was way inside. He squared, and then he got out of the way. Gloucester thought he offered. Plate umpire said no. They should check with the base umpire. He said no. You're not going to win that argument. So now it's 1-1 instead of 0-2. Gloucester fans getting involved. Squaring away again. They're leaving the third baseman at third. They missed that one. He came close to throwing the runner out at second base. Lunging for that one was DiFilippo. And the count was 1-2. Tayshawn Anderson is the on-deck hitter. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Tayshawn Anderson sacrificed his first time up, helped set up the first run, and he flied out to very short left field last time. Hit back to the pitcher. He's only got one play at first base. Nice play. Sperry, who's a third baseman when he's not pitching, dove and speared that one. Cesar Carrero is the hitter. He is grounded a short and grounded a second. Grounded a second, At the time, Oliver took a base hit away. It was going into right field. So now that good-looking inning with 2 on and nobody out becomes second and third with 2 outs. Wide for a ball. Wide again, 2-0. E.J. Field had to go wide to his right to go get that one. Danny Lillier on deck, hoping he gets a shot here in the bottom of the 6th. Hit in the right field for a base hit. They send the runner home. The throw's not going to be in time. Huge hit by Carrero. Big 2-out hit. Haskell doubles their fun. They had 2, now they got 4. What a big hit by Carrero. He goes to the bench, gets a lot of high fives. Somebody's got to tell Kevin McNulty he may be stealing second, but he's got to get there first. He's got to go back to first base. Dan Liller's perfect. He got a perfect bunt for an RBI, and he tried it again, fouled it off. And he got a solid shot into right field for a base hit. So he's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Knocked in the first run of the ball game for Glasgow. Sperry taking a lot of time. Lulia steps out. In for a strike. Everybody's got a weird way of signaling strikes. The runner takes off. He got a big jump. No chance. No chance to throw him out. E.J. Field should have thrown that to third to make sure he only got second. No chance he was going to throw him out at second base. What a jump he got. The 1-2 pitch. Wide for a ball, and again, Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs in for Glasgow to push that 2-1 lead to 4-1, giving David Bernard a lot more to work with. Slicing it foul off the backstop. Once again, the 2-2 pitch, up and coming. Hit on the ground to second base. Bobbled, but they stay with it and make the play. They get Lilia for the first time. But a big 2-out single by Carrero gives David Bernard some extra runs to work with. Glasgow now leads it 4-1 at the end of 6. 7, 8, and 9. Gloucester's last chance. Glasgow has pushed that tight 2-1 game into a 4-1 lead with a huge 2-out hit by Cesar Carrero, lining it over the second baseman's head in front of the right fielder. So Gloucester pitching has walked 3, and 2 of them have scored. In for a strike. Dave Bernard got pumped with those 2 strikeouts, ending the 6th inning. Hit on the ground. Lilia knocks it down, but he's got no play. It'll be a base hit. E.J. Field gets a base hit. Harry Marshall struck out, grounded to third. The strikeout was a call-out. Missing wide for a ball. Marshall's got to get on to bring the tying run to home plate. Gloucester needs 3. In the air, the center field is going to drop for a base hit. So now the tying run will come to home plate. Gloucester had 3 hits coming into the inning. They got 2 in a row to start the 7th. And Dalen Locke has flied to right and grounded to second. Number 9 hit at the top of the order on deck. Missing low for a ball. Hit the center field. On his horse, it's over the head of Durant. 2 runs are going to score. And it's a triple. And Gloucester is pulled within a run, and the tying run is at third. I mentioned 7, 8, and 9 hadn't hit the ball out of the infield. They were 0 for 6 against David Bernard. And all of a sudden, single, triple. And the tying run is at third base. Pitches in for a strike. Top of the order, Ben Oliver. Flied to center, grounded to third, grounded to short. So those 2 runs looked awful big for Glasgow with that 4-1 lead. Nice stop by Carrero. Now Glasgow has to bring the infield in to try and shut off the run that could tie the game up. The Gloucester bench was very quiet starting this inning. All of a sudden they've come alive. Nice stop that bounced in front of home plate. It's the Glasgow dugout that's kind of quiet now, and the Gloucester fans have come to life. Yeah, we get a team in the huddle on the mound. And the coaching staff of Gloucester will talk to hitter and base runner. But boy, Dalen Locke got all of that one. He hit that a ton. Kevin Durant can go get him in the outfield. That was hit way over his head. And he, more importantly, he was able to leg it into a triple to put the tying run at third base with nobody out. In for a strike, we're even at 2. Just broke outside. He tried to chase it and just held up, and we got a full count, 3-2. Big pitch coming up here. And Bernard backs off. After going 0 for 6, getting 1 ball out of the infield, 7, 8, and 9 go back to back to back hits. Curve ball, and he knew it. So, didn't even hesitate, just walked away. Marcus Montanino is the hitter. He's grounded out, struck out, bounced to the pitcher. On the inside corner for a strike. Much to the chagrin of the Gloucester fans. They're all over the umpire. Quickly, 2 strikes. Hit the center field. This will be enough. Durant caught it off the grass. The run will tag up and score. They appeal third. They call him safe. So Montanino gets the sacrifice fly. The first 3 hitters score, and we got a tie game. So Jake Lucida was off the hook. He was going to take the loss. Sperry has walked, flied to left, grounded to short. Hit near center field again. Long run for Duran over the left center. Makes the play. But Gloucester shocks the Rams. The bottom 3 in the order get single, single, triple. Sacrifice fly ties it up. Gloucester scores 3 in the inning. Classical will have the top of the order up. So now Sperry is the pitcher of record for Gloucester, as Lucida was off the hook. And Classical, their fans, and I'm sure the dugout, didn't think they were going to have to bat in the bottom of the 7th after getting that big 2-out hit by Carrero, taking a 4-1 lead. Facing the bottom 3 in the order, who were 0-6 coming into the inning, and that 0-6 got single, single, triple, and the sacrifice fly ties it up. And we'll move into the bottom half of the 7th. So Gloucester fights their way back. Now Glasgow will try to steal it back. A.J. Luciano grounded a short, flied to center, popped to first. One of the rare games. He's only had one game this year that he went without a hit. One, two, three for Glasgow. Up and away for a ball. One-on-one on the inside corner. On the inside corner again, 1 and 2. Put right in the hands of A.J. Luciano, keeping it away, not letting him extend. The 1-2 pitch up and coming. Way wide. The count evens at 2. Hit high, but right at the shortstop. And they just get him at first. Good hustle by Luciano, but he's out at first, 6-3. Brett Buckland walked, bounced to the pitcher, popped to the first baseman in foul territory. One up, one down in the bottom of the 7th in a tie game. Gloucester getting 3 in the top of the inning to tie it. Buckland didn't think he offered. He squealed like he was going to bunt. Thought he pulled it back, but they said he offered. So it's strike 1. In for a strike, 0-2. It's hard to believe how shallow the left fielder is playing. Strike 3 called on the corner. Buckland didn't like it. He said something to the umpire. He didn't like that at bat. Second strikeout for Sperry. David Bernard is the hitter. Reached an error, grounded a third, and bounced to the pitcher who, in a foot race, took the play himself and Sperry beat David Bernard to the bag for the unassisted putout. Chop to the right side. They have to hurry. They don't get him. It's an infield hit. Sperry was closer to the ball than the second baseman was. Just a little chop. So the winning run at first, but there's 2 outs. Sean Devon has popped to first, struck out, walked and scored. He got one of the 2 in the 6th inning. It looked like Glasgow was putting icing on the cake with that 4-1 lead. Gloucester fought back to tie it, and that's where we are. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Hit solid into right field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs. Glasgow has the winning run in scoring position for Aiden Dow. Bounced to no fielder's choice, singled in the left center field, and then beat out a bunt for a base hit. So he's 2 for 3. He'd like to make it 3 for 4. Devin with a solid shot. Missing for a ball. So Glasgow trying to grab it back, lost it, tied it at the top of the inning to give themselves a life. Now back-to-back hits with 2 outs. Two and 0. Young sophomore Aiden Dow with a chance. Up the middle. Safe. The ball's on the ground. Safe at the plate. The ball got away. David Bernard wins the ball game for himself. The ball bounced off the shortstop to the second baseman. It would have been a force out. They dropped it. It rolled away. The error on the shortstop allowed Dow to reach. And Bernard comes all the way around on the error. Slides in safely. They drop the ball at the plate as well. So Gloucester gave themselves a life, getting 3 in the top of the inning. Glasgow wins it in the bottom. Bizarre. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs. The ground ball to the shortstop. It looked like he deflected it right to, it went off his glove like he deflected right to the second baseman, and Gloucester was going to luck out and get a force out. Instead, they bobbled the ball to run a safe at second. The collision at second pushed the ball away. David Bernard had stopped. He came home, running home. They threw the ball home to the plate. It was a little bit high. He slid in safe. They dropped the ball anyway. And Glasgow wins it by a score of 5-4. So Glasgow got the run in the second, a walk, a stolen base, a sacrifice, and a perfect bunt by Lillian made it 1-0. Gloucester tied it in the fourth, an error, a sacrifice, a base hit, and a ground ball by Field knocked in a run to make it 1-1. Glasgow took the lead in the fourth. After a base hit, DiFilippo forced the hit at second. 3 wild pitches scored him. It was 2-1. It stayed that way until the sixth. Glasgow scored 2 in the sixth to grab a 4-1 lead. A leadoff walk to Devon, a base hit by Dow. After an out, they moved up on a ground ball back to the mound. 2 outs. Cesar Carrero gets a big 2-out hit to make it 4-1. It looked golden. The 3 bottom hitters in the inning, in the seventh inning for Gloucester. Field got a base hit. Marshall got a base hit. Locke got a booming triple. And then a sacrifice fly by Montanino tied the game at 4. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the seventh. David Bernard hit a little dribbler down the first base side, beat it to first base for a base hit. Devin lined a shot into right field, first and second, 2 outs. The ground ball to short. It looked like Gloucester got a big break when it got deflected from the shortstop to the second baseman. But sliding into second was Devin. Everybody came together. The ball got knocked loose. The runner is safe. It rolled just far enough away that David Bernard was able to scoot home from third. And the pitcher, David Bernard, scores the run that wins him the game. He pitched really well. Didn't give up anything until the seventh inning. Glasgow will go to 4-5. Gloucester will go to 4-4. For Glasgow, Bernard was on twice, got the big base hit, scored the winning run. Sean Devon had a walk and a base hit, a big 2-out hit that kept the inning alive. He scored a run. Aiden Dow was 2 for 4 on base 3 times. The last one, the error that allowed Bernard to score, he also scored a run. Jared DiFilippo drew a walk and a fielder's choice. He scored the first 2 runs of the ball game. Cesar Carrero got that big 2 RBI 2-out hit. And Danny Lillier in the number 9 spot was 2 for 2, including that perfect bunt that knocked in the first run of the ball game. So everybody contributing. David Bernard came up with some big strikeouts when he had to. He gave up the 4 runs. The only 3 earned were in the 7th inning. Gave up 6 hits. Walked only 1. Struck out 6. And that one inning where they got 3 hits in a row was the one inning he didn't settle down and shut Gloucester down. The 1 run he gave up before that was unearned. So Glasgow squeaks it out. They give 3 up in the top of the 7th to tie it. They come back and steal a run in the bottom of the 7th. The winning pitcher, David Bernard, scoring the run on the infield ground ball that was booted around. And Glasgow wins it by a score of 5-4. Again, they go to 4-5, a little closer to that 500 mark. Gloucester drops to 500 at 4-4. So the final score, Glasgow 5, Gloucester 4. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.